All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone had an amazing day yesterday. Hope you're having an amazing morning today. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing?
Hey, good morning, brother. I'm doing well. Happy Friday.
Yes, yes. Happy Friday. Looking forward to a very long weekend. As long as your headphone cord. I
Oh
mean,
man, I got some new
show the
headphones.
crowd. Show the crowd.
I got some new headphones, and my cord on these is about 12 feet long. I don't know what people are expecting to do with this, but maybe I don't
Uh,
know. Maybe if I have a bad, I guess I could you could hang yourself with the thing. It's so long. I don't know. It's
it looks like you
crazy.
can go to the yard, probably do the
Mow,
mow
yeah.
the lawn, and just yeah.
Do the pre-market show while mowing my lawn. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, guys, let's get into this gappers list this morning. We got a bit of a decent list. It looks like now we're starting to slow down a little bit. I mean, in the past,
Yeah.
right off the bat, this list was huge. So, with that said, I'm going to try to slow down my speed of speaking as well because what was happening in the past is we had such a big list. We really had to crush through it, right? So we're noticing now things are starting to slow down a little bit more. So we'll see if we can change the pace a little bit, bring back our segments of top highlights from the day before. We took that out for a while, and also be able to speak on some other things, maybe answer a few more questions, kind of get back to the regular pace of things here. So this morning we had a bit
You
in
know,
our
it's
gapping.
it's
Yep.
interesting you say that. I
Yeah.
I was taking my son to school a few minutes ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I had on CNBC just listening to economic data come out and stuff, and they were talking about trading volumes, and we talk about it all the time. If you guys haven't been around for a year, trading volumes during the summer are very low compared to the rest of the year. Now we're in that kind of pocket where there's earnings and there can be some better moves, but a lot of times last summer we'd come in, with one or two things on the gappers. There was a day or so in there, I swear there was nothing on the gappers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we always find something to trade, but this year is different in the fact that we've got some huge macro news going on. Trading, they were talking about trading volumes, and they while still elevated, I think they're up like 40% over average July volume,
Mm-hmm.
but they're down like significantly from what we were seeing in April, May, June, even. So
Yeah, yeah, and we're starting to see that in our list here too, because again, it's just you guys seeing it every day here. This list is a mile long on both sides sometimes, and we're starting to see a little bit of that come down a bit here, so that's good. All right, guys, let's get to our list. So here we have a bit on here. We'll start with the what's gapping down. Actually, before we do that, let's get to our market pulse, kind of get an idea of what the spy's doing here, and what could we expect for today.
yeah, so right now up a quarter of a percent. I mean, fairly light volume, like I'm saying, on the SPY itself compared to what we've been seeing. We've had earnings come out. We'll get into Netflix that came out last night. They're just getting slaughtered this morning. So that's what we got on that front. As far as economic data today, housing starts and building permits came out at 8:30. Didn't really see that info yet. And then consumer sentiment flash index will be at 10 a.m. So not a ton coming out today. I anticipate it's probably a pretty quiet Friday. Now,
Yeah.
that can change in a heartbeat with any kind of headline news that comes out, but
Yep, I agree. I expect it to be slow. Let's go over our top highlights from yesterday, guys. Here's our watches. We had Twitter on here. Twitter, let's show you our 5 minute here zoomed in. Twitter was very nice. If you were able to watch this closely, give you some pretty good opportunities here. So off the top here, we love the pre-market action on Twitter yesterday. Again, it was very active. And just look at the pop you're getting here off the bat. Takes off nicely for a beautiful opening range breakup. Gives you a nice pullback right on that same 5 minute candle. And then again, just comes back to the VWAP. You have some good opportunities here to take it long again if you missed this entry. So again, Twitter was nice, some really good volume on it. And we knew Twitter was going to be great because the type of pre-market action we had on Twitter. So we had some pretty good volume on it, and it tends to trade well once you have some good volume on here. Also, right at the open, if you're looking for a possible breakout of the high of the pre-market, you got a good one here too. If you got in here, you got a nice little pop immediately, taking advantage of that. So that could have turned out pretty nice. Here's Dell. Dell was just horrible in the middle of the day. So two things happened here. We had a nice big pop here right off the gates. Then it just became pretty choppy, right? If you had a good, my entry was around this area. If you had a good entry in this opening a push here, you could have survived this choppiness here, and then you got another push here, and that was about it, right? Turned a pretty crappy. Volume started dying down. You kind of got a double top here, and then you can see just the drop, and then for like 2 hours, 3 hours, not even, was it almost the whole day, just doing nothing. And this is typical of Dell. I expected it a lot more from it yesterday since they had some, nice little pops, a good catalyst behind it, but again, just did nothing for the entire day until later on. Later in the day, we're watching the market close, and in the chat room as well, Peter was on, Thor was on, and this became a great short opportunity. I took a short here once it lost this level 59.77, so that was a good short as well. Those were your only two moves really. Well, three: the open here, the short here. You had a nice double top. I think Peter took this one as well, and again, that turned out pretty good. Here's Neo, which will be on our list today, taking a dive, guys. I'll show you that in a second when we get to the gappers and levels. Neo, again, nice big pop right at the open. Then after that, just look at the range here, up and down, just very choppy. It settles down around noon and then gives you a beautiful play here. But again, very tough to trade yesterday. These are the type of stocks that are great to scalp, get in and out of. NCLH, also one that again gave you a tough time at first, right in here, but then after that became a beautiful short, guys, right? If you were in anywhere near the VWAP or you missed it, you saw this consolidation happening here. It looked like it was going to lose it here. It didn't. Bounces back up to VWAP, not strong enough to stay above VWAP, and usually when we see this, guys, it's a great indication for a possible trend play. Now, I'm not a big trend trader, but we have several members in the community that love to trade this way. You're getting here for sure that after it doesn't get into the VWAP, and you can kind of expect it to come back down here again. It's just very weak, and the entire day just gave you some beautiful drops here all the way into the close. American Airlines, again, I continue to stay away from this one. I had it on the watch yesterday, but again, the price action, it's just horrible. It is not clean at all, so I did not touch this. You can see here, even after the fact, how nasty these candles are. They're just not clean at all. Every candle overlapping the previous one. Look at the wicks on here, and this is happening with heavy volume on top of that. So price action all over the place, not really anything fun there. VXRT was a great one, guys. Look at the beautiful opening. You have a nice indecision on the 5 minute. Buyers and sellers do not know who's taking control here. Eventually, the next candle, the buyers completely take control, and you have this amazing pop. You had to really be on your eyeballs had to be on this. You could not take your eyeballs off this if you're going to catch this beautiful pop here and then trade it very well. I expect this one to be hot today as well. Has a lot of volume this morning. So that's what we had yesterday. I also want to share with you guys our member trade of the day, guys. That was from Lindsay, I believe, and here it is. She had a beautiful trade on SQ. We'll talk more about, Norman's going to talk more about the member trade of the day and how you can sign up for that. There's going to be a price for that later on, so Norm will talk more about those details. So amazing trade here on SQ. We did not have this one on watch, but again, just beautiful trade. Look at the entry here right above the VWAP. Nice, beautiful pops. And what I love is they're taking profit right at every level, right? Breaking high of the day here. Here they got a nice move, took some profits off there. 121 is the level that they had on their chart as well. Take some off here, some off here. This is perfect execution of a trade plan there. So a great job there on that trade. All right, guys, with that said, let's go look at our gappers list this morning. Let's see what we have. Let's remove, make some room here and remove what we have there. Let's get some columns in here and go over start with what's gapping down today. Neo's the big one. This one, again, guys, and I know they got a downgrade from Goldman Sachs, Norm, but any other news aside from that? I mean, this is taking a big hit.
Yeah, I think it's primarily on that downgrade.
So,
all these electric car makers have just been on absolute fire recently.
yes.
And so a downgrade, Tesla fell pretty hard yesterday. So it's just, I think that play's coming back to earth a little bit. And on top of that, they get a downgrade this morning, as you said, out of Goldman from neutral to sell. So I think that's what's kicking them in the butt.
So they got some really decent volume, guys. 8 million shares right now. And you can see here, we're losing some good levels of support. We lost this one right on here, 1244. So I definitely want to have this one. Hopefully it doesn't get too extended and we can get some good plays here at the open. We have Netflix. I know you spoke about Netflix possible earnings play, I believe.
Yeah, they had earnings last night and they were getting annihilated. They're bouncing back a little bit now, but man, did they take a hit. So they came out, everybody expected them just to kill it because of everybody being locked in from COVID. So they reported last night and their earnings per share was lighter than expected by a decent amount. Their revenues were a little bit more than expected, and they signed up more subscribers in second quarter than anticipated. The problem is that their growth rate in subscribers for next quarter, this current quarter that we're in, third quarter, was way below what analysts had expected. So Netflix kind of just came out and said, we pulled forward all these subscriptions and we don't see a whole lot of new benefit coming from it after that. So that's what's got them. I mean, they've been primed. If you look at a daily, they've just taken off during this thing. So not too surprising to see a little bit of pullback on that news.
Yeah, and again, like you mentioned, if you look back, this stock it still has been pretty strong, guys, with everything going on. So we'll see. But again, a big hit today on our list. I don't usually trade Netflix. It's not an easy stock to trade, but today could be the day where it trades very well. It is an expensive stock. It's sitting at 488. So we'll see what action we get out of Netflix today. RCL this morning has got some good volume here, 253. Not much action in the pre-market. Again, don't got a lot going on here. You do have this one candle here at 8 a.m. We know how this happens. It's more of transactions being printed. I don't think there's actual price action. You got 62,000 shares traded there. Again, so not a big fan of RCL. I'd rather watch the other ones like NCLH. I think they move a little bit better. But if you do like RCL, put that one on your list today. Norm, do we have any specific news on RCL or any of the cruise lines or?
Yeah, well, it's actually the news is on NCLH, and they had a secondary offering that they actually increased the size of. So they're just building up a bigger. They're building up a bigger bank account to try to weather this thing, and that's hit them a little bit. I mean, overall, it's also the fear of reclosing some of this stuff. California, rumors in Texas, but I think the governor came out last night and said that's not going to happen. So the reopening trade's kind of getting hurt on that.
I can see here NCLH again. It's got a beautiful daily as well, guys. It's holding on to this 14.95 there. So again, we'll put this one on here. It did trade okay yesterday. It had a nice little short on it. Not a nice, actually big short of the entire day. So definitely one that you want to keep an eye out this morning. If we break that level we have there, we can definitely have some fun with this one. So NC. Oh, excuse me. Can't type today. Let's delete that. NCLH. There we go. All right, let's remove this one from here. Perfect. All right, so we'll keep that one on there. Anything else here? CYTK coming up in our scanners here. This one starting to get going, down 9%, 125. Dailies all over the place. I don't like the volume towards the bottom. Very light, guys. Only 2 million shares traded on a good day here. And then for the most part, it's under 1 million. So again, not sure how great this one's going to trade. I'm going to skip on this one. And look at the daily. It's just not good at all. Not clean.
The Biotech, and it's moving down on news of a secondary offering.
Yeah, so not a great catalyst on top of that. Let's see what's gapping up today, guys. We got a couple of low floats here. We got RMBL, APDN, VC, and X. I'm going to fly through this in BL and K. Again, usually we don't focus on low flow stocks. It's just not our cup of tea, as you will say here. MRBL, again, up 84%, 724,000 shares traded. Just look at the daily on this, guys. This is just horrible. So I want no part of this. And again, if that's not your style, please avoid watching those stocks because they can fool you. APDN has a better pre-market activity, up 53% this morning, 2.6. Again, nice big pop here. Pre-market's looking a lot more decent. Looks like we had levels for this one before in the past. Notice how every time this stock gaps up, you can tell here that it's used to selling off pretty nice here. So gap up here, sells off, sells off, sells off, sells off again. So again, for the most part, be careful. A few days, you have had a good pop and a good run. Here it gaps up, it actually was able to hold. But for the most part, it's very good at gapping up and selling down. So this could be it for it here, and it could start heading down. So be careful if you're looking for a long there. I will add this one. It looks to be the cleanest low flow right now, APDN. So for the low flow team, we'll put that on there for you.
They had news of preclinical trials, preclinical results on a COVID vaccine.
Gotcha. We'll keep that on there. VCNX, this is actually a vaccine company. Let's see what we got going on here. This is, I don't like the pre-market action, guys. Only 177 shares traded so far. I mean, this is a 2.6 million shares flow. You have this type of volume, you're already up 40%. That's scary. I mean, I want to see a lot more volume than 177 if you're up 37%, right? So again, more of a stock that trades horrible, guys. Look at the daily here. It's just not anything that looks exciting to me. I'm going to skip on this one. I think APDN has a much cleaner pre-market action. I think this would be one to keep an eye on if you want to trade any of these low flow stocks today. BLNK up 9% here. Also, pre-market action is not looking all that great. We've seen this one active in the past. We had a couple of days ago here where we did get a nice pop out of it. But again, just look at this daily. Right, if you look at the stocks that we keep on watch for the most part, not a lot of them look like this one here. So again, unless there's any main catalyst, only 189,000 shares traded right now. This is not one that I'll be a fan of watching this morning. Space has been on fire, guys. So SPCE. This one up another 8%. Just look at the breakout over the last couple of days. Yes, you have had some days in here that you're getting a little bit of some choppiness, but for the most part, you got some pretty good bars here. This one here, nice pop. Another one here, nice pop, creating a new most recent high. And then now you have another pop here of 8%. Can we continue on this strength and start to head higher? Now we know Space, guys, had a huge pop back in February. This thing went up all the way to 42. So it's no stranger to breaking out and then getting some fuel here. What I like about the daily also, guys, if you look at this previous day close line, this is a major support. I'm sorry, resistance for the last couple of months for this stock, right? We hit it back in April. We hit it in May. We're kind of testing that area right now. But notice how the lows are kind of sliding up a little bit here, right? So you're getting higher lows as you're getting close to this area, this breakout area. So we're slightly above that. Does this thing have fuel to keep going? It's going to be the thing here, and can it give us some good opportunities? So we'll keep an eye on this one. Norm, any new news out of SPCE or just regular movement for these guys?
Nothing in the last 24 hours I'm seeing.
Gotcha. All right, let's go to NVAX. This one here, it is up 6.8. I really do not like this stock, guys. I don't like the way it trades. I don't like the daily on it. I know a few members like to watch this one. Pre-market action right now, 155,000. Had a good day yesterday, breaking out of this 115 area of resistance, so that's nice. Again, making a most new recent high here at 120. That was the close, previous day close from yesterday. So I'll keep it on here. It might be a possible for me, but again, it's just a stock that I don't like to trade as much. INO, guys, this one, let's remove some of these levels we have here. Decent pre-market action. Looks like it wants to get going here. The daily, though, looks great because you do have an area here, the previous day close, area of resistance that we're just breaking out of. We have broken out of that in the past and had a little run all the way up to 28. So today could be that day. The volume is a little bit light at 197. This stock is usually, when it's in play, trades very heavy on volume. But right now, pre-market is looking pretty interesting, to say the least. So let's put it on here. It might be a possible for today, or at least if it gets going, we can throw it on the main list. VXRT has been incredible, guys. A lot of strong plays here in the intraday. I believe was it yesterday, the day before? Actually, no, yesterday was a nice play here, and also the day before, I think we had a nice play also here for a possible short. So again, it has been very active. But the thing with this stock, I keep reminding you guys, is you got to be quick, right? You got to be in, you got to have a good entry, and you got to be out as soon as possible, because sometimes the pullbacks are pretty nasty on this stock, right? Especially with the volume that it gets. So we'll keep an eye on it. Pre-market right now showing us a good little range here on the 5-minute, 333,000 shares traded. We are up 3%. I do like the daily. We popped up here a couple of days ago. We held this 14 level, and now we have an opportunity to go and test the 17 again here if we're going to be strong for today. So VXRT, we'll keep this one again on our watch list today. Next we have the DKNG. This one right now, pre-market is looking okay. Possible breakout. Good day yesterday. A possible continuation today if it still has some juice left, right? The last couple of three trading days have been pretty good for this stock, going all the way down to 27, and just look at the bounce here of 27.55. We've been breaking through all these area of resistance that it has had all the way up to 36, and then now we're up another 3.8. So showing a lot of strength over the last couple of days. I'm going to put this down as a possible, because it tends to sometimes have a good pre-market action and not do much. But again, the last couple of days, we've seen some good action out of this one, at least on the daily. SPAQ, this is not looking good at all, guys. We had some good moves a couple of days ago. Nice short about 4 days ago. Then after that, it's just been chopping around. I'm not sure if we're going to get anything great out of this one today. If you guys see something better, call it out to us and we'll put it on our list. Let's look at Plug, guys. I'm going to stay away from. It's just a horrible stock. The way it trades, I don't like it at all. Right now, pre-market is looking crappy as well. I don't see anything great here. The daily, if this was any other stock with a good pre-market action, the daily would look interesting for a possible breakout. But I know the way the stock trades, it's just a horrible stock. I'm going to stay away from it. Here's mRNA, has been really active, guys. Again, just continues to give us a lot of opportunities, give us some great short opportunities about 2 days ago, a good long opportunity about 4 days ago. Again, this stock, when it's in play, man, it can trade very clean. So I'm inclined to keep it here, guys. We had a nice drop on this would have been what, Wednesday, kind of break even day here, and now today with possible breakout if we can get going. So I think mRNA is a hot stock. You have to have it at least as a possible, guys. Now keep in mind, this stock also, like VXRT, it moves a lot.
It is tough, and when it's a long, it can still drop 80 cents on you like that,
just like that,
even when it is strong. So
So on stocks like that move like this, guys, what you could do is either just not trade them, or if you are going to trade them because you still see a great signals on your strategy, good risk to reward, just be mindful of the number of shares you take, right? Make your money on the actual move, not on, oh, let me take X amount of shares so I can make X amount of dollars. You don't want to do that with this stock because it can drop on you pretty hard, pretty fast. So that is our gapping up list this morning, guys. I think we got some pretty good stuff in here so far for a Friday. I'm going to make some room. Norm, anything aside from what I have on this list that you like today?
No, nothing too special from me, man.
Yeah. Let's go over to the chat room. What do you guys like this morning? Let's see here. Let's scroll up a bit. Who do we have? Oh, pretty quiet in the chat today. Not a lot of out there that you guys are watching. Netflix we have. What else? Box L. What's going on with Box L? Box L here. This one is 4.8 million shares traded. Big day yesterday. Pre-market is very active right now. How did it trade yesterday? Yesterday, nice big pop here right at the open. So again, I didn't watch the actual price action, so I'm not sure how clean this was. But yeah, Box L could be a possible. I'm not a fan of it, but if you guys are watching, we could do some levels for it. All right. What else?
12 million share float on that.
Oh, thank you for saying, for noting that. Yes.
It's 23 on PI, but it's 12 on Finviz. So.
All right, excellent.
Somewhere
here
there
is Microsoft, guys. So Microsoft right now, I'm not seeing anything all that great on it at this moment. But again, the daily looks interesting. We had a nice little drop here. And as you mentioned, Bobby, yeah, coming down to this moving average, so you can find some support here. And obviously, and you're seeing the support already happening as well. This 202 level, this previous day close is holding that's above that. The few times that it dipped below that, it has come back up and try to regain at least that 204 there. So yeah, potential breakout on the daily, but I'm not seeing anything all that great just yet. This could be a good one for later in the morning. CYTK, I believe we took a look at that. CYTK, yeah, this one here, guys, 180. Yeah, again, I'm just not a fan of this one here. The volume is very light, guys. It does look weak here, like it wants to lose this level 23.55. So I do like that in the sense, but again, just not one of those stocks that I see any potential for me personally the way I trade. Sono. Let's take a look at Sono. No,
usually doesn't have very much volume. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know every once in a while you can get a good trade out of it, and I've seen some people have it. Whenever I've looked at it, the spread isn't very pretty. I mean, you got a 8-cent spread on a $15 stock, $16 stock. That's pretty high. It just doesn't. It never seems to get volume needed for me, but.
Yeah, and you could tell here you got a couple of days with a nice pop and some good volume, but for the most part, it seems pretty light on the volume, and you could tell by the daily too. So it's exhausted now, right? Look at the pop it had yesterday. Are we going to get some type of continuation? Their pre-market seems to be very light no matter what. Look, they never get volume in the pre-market, even after having such a great day yesterday. So the pre-market doesn't mean much right now for this one. We will have to see if it hits our scanners and if we can get something going out of it. Let's take a look at FEYE. FEYE right now, very light volume, guys. I see what you're looking at. Potential breakout here, right here at 13 bucks. I've tested this several times, going back all the way to June 1, 2, 3, and now again here. So it needs a lot of juice though. 32,000 is not going to do it, obviously.
No gap, no volume.
Yeah, so it needs something to get that push going. Let's look at some of the banks. Bank of America. What do we have going on with these guys? BAC.
No gap. I mean, it's absolutely flat.
Yeah.
We say this all the time, especially these lower price banks. Unless there's a serious catalyst, they don't trade very well.
Yeah, they don't. These guys don't move. All of them are pretty flat. J.P. Morgan, Wells Fargo, they're all just pretty flat right now. Citigroup, yeah, they're not doing anything, guys, at the moment. And you could tell right when we got some banking news, you could get some good moves out of them. But aside from that, I mean, they're just pretty flat today. All right, let's take a look at a few more, and then AMD, WKHS. AMD's daily, man. This thing is. I know Peter's been watching this one every day. I wonder how he's been able to attack this stock here. Oh, that's not the wrong one. Let's get AMD. Here we go. Yeah, so their daily's just again all over the place. So I'm not sure on it. Pretty much flat as well.
It's going to move at some point here. It's forming a pennant on the daily and coming to a tip. But
yeah,
I mean, it looks to me like it wants to break up, but it could just continue to chop here. Who knows?
Yeah. All right, folks, let's take a look in our YouTube chat. What do you guys have? Let's start with Elias here. AMD, we do have on deck. Surge LRN. Let's look at that. LRN, this one is the K12. What kind of company is this? This is up.
I think it's a Chinese education company.
Yeah, look at this thing, man. Whew. These companies scare me. What's the float on this? When I look at companies like this, I think of companies like Hunt, companies like what's the other one that got?
It's not Chinese. It is U.S. But I guess it's curriculum software, so distance learning play, I guess.
Yeah.
These things trade so strangely to me.
Yeah.
I mean that's just parabolic. Looks like a low float.
Exactly right, and that's just scary stuff, especially with this type of volume. Only 7 million shares traded. Again, just be careful. Let's take a look at how they did yesterday. What was the price action like? Yeah, see this? This is not clean, guys. Look at the volume, right? You got no volume. You could be stuck here, who knows for how long, trying to get a move. And then out of nowhere, you get somebody that drops 1 million shares on you, and you're up from 44.90 to 46. Can you imagine? Even if you're in
that's a hell of a squeeze or something right there.
You catch yourself in the wrong side of something like that, and you're gonna pay the price dearly. Same thing the day before. Look at this, guys. Right, this actually looks a little bit better. You have some volume here, but again, another just squeeze right up here, and then it's just be careful.
You just wait. I guess the strategy on this, and this is a joke, is just buy at the beginning and wait for this one guy to come and pop it up.
Exactly. Wait for that one guy that's dropping 1 million shares there. All right, let's take a look at VRNA. We'll do a few more. VRNA. This one here, guys, is it a low flow stock? VRNA. It's sitting at 8.5 million shares flow, so it can go down next to APDN. They're both pretty active. We'll take a closer look at them in a second.
The UK-based low float biotech as well. Just a heads up on that.
Doesn't sound good at all. All right, folks, that is what we have. One last one.
And I know a lot of people have thrown out Ericsson. Ericsson's ERIC, Carlos. And the only reason I'm bringing this up, from personal experience, this may be the worst trading stock in the market other than like Toyota Motors or something like that.
Yeah.
This, you can just see the algos ticking it back and forth by a penny at a time usually. It's got a tiny ATR. That's why it hasn't hit our list. It's gapping up big today. It's an earnings play, but it just
it doesn't trade well.
It's not even worthy to put it on the list and look at it in my eyes.
And we have tried to actually look at it and get a play out of it, especially when it has news behind it, and even then it's just not worth it. All right, folks, let's go over to announcements, and we'll come back and fine tune this pretty tight list this morning. Not a whole lot.
All right, guys. So Jared, is your success webinar up yet? If it's not, hopefully it will be soon. He's talking about trend days and how to maximize them. Next week, we've got Mike talking about developing your edge and a playbook through journaling, especially useful earlier on in your career if you need to go back and maybe do some tweaks and help improve yourself. Mike also had his module 1, defining yourself as a trader, in his psychology series. That should be up in the psychology section of the website. If you he does not, there isn't a psychology module coming up next week, so take next Tuesday night off and spend it with your family. Guys, Carlos earlier in the broadcast mentioned the BBT member trade of the day. So this is Friday, so there is no trade of the day. But here's how it works. Started this earlier this week, Monday through Thursday. Take a screenshot of your best trade, maybe a 1 minute, 5 minute, or a 1, 5, 15, something like that charts. Mark them up, show the trade, post it on Twitter, tagging at Bear Bull Traders, at Mike B BBT underscore BBT, excuse me, at Mike B underscore BBT, and at Norm BBT, and also use the hashtag BBT family. Tweet that, and Mike and I are looking through those, picking a winner each day. It's announced in the Closing Bell show that they simulcast on YouTube. Every Friday, Mike and I and the team pick out the winner, and that'll be announced later in the day. I believe Mike's doing a YouTube video, and that will be tweeted out as well. So of those 4 from earlier in the week, we will pick one. Mike will announce it on Friday. Winner gets a $100 gift card, Amazon gift card. So, guys, if you're watching on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, like to give it a try, use the promo code premarket24. That's premarket24. To get a discount off the trial rate of $39. That'll bring it down to 24. It gives you 7 calendar days in the chat room, 5 trading days, including Carlos's onboarding class. It's always good to do that over the weekend. That way you can kind of get set up, take a look around. Monday, come in, check out the chat, kind of get a feel for it, go to the onboarding class, get deeper into the process, and then spend the rest of the week seeing how it goes for you, if you like it. It's not for everybody. We like it here, but we also recognize it's not for everybody, whether it be trading style or something of that nature. Also, if you're looking to either upgrade your membership or become a lifetime member, this is the last time, in all likelihood, not 100% guaranteed like anything in life, but we are not going to be doing 40% off lifetime discounts anymore. So if you want to get that, use promo code Rockies40 as it's pictured on the screen. If you listen to podcasts, search Talk with Traders on your favorite platform. You'll find the Bear Bull Traders podcast. Peter's putting out great content there about every other week. Speaking of him, join Mike and Brian, the Market Close show that I mentioned earlier. That's Monday through Thursday. So take this afternoon off and enjoy your weekend a little bit early.
All right, thank you, Norm, for that. Okay, folks, someone mentioned here J&J. It does look good on the daily. It is a very difficult stock to trade, though. But yeah, it does look good on the day. Like, it wants to keep going here. You had a nice little run the last couple of days. Good pullback to 147, and now you're gapping up another 1.2 here. So I love the fact that we're above this area of resistance as well. So it could be a good possible. Pre-market action is not looking all that great, but this could be typical J&J. It's just the volume and the price action here is sometimes a little bit tough, even on good days when it has volume. So I'll put it down as a possible, but I don't expect much out of it this morning. Let's look at J&J here. All right. Okay, guys, let's start with what we have here. I think we'll go through all of these, do some levels. We can always come back and fine tune even further. But let's start with NEO today. NEO, a great volume right now. Again, downgrade from Goldman Sachs, taking a bit of a hit here, down 6%. Their downgrade was to about $7, I believe. Here we have a 1188 low of the pre-market at the moment. On the daily, you can see plenty of levels towards the top. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, and you also got your previous day close line right on there. So again, do not need to add anything more up here, guys. Don't make this more complicated than what it is. You have some pretty good levels here. If you saturate it with a lot more levels, it can just become confusing than simple, right? So keep it as simple as possible. Here we have another level towards the bottom, 1081. If we lose this 1188, this is the best level I'm seeing here. You also have a moving average around 11, and also the whole dollar number on a stock that's trading at this price range is pretty important. If we were to lose that, which I doubt, this will be the next level, 948. Here's Netflix. Again, Netflix right now, let's remove some levels here. But low of the pre-market sitting at 480. They took a big hit today. High of the pre-market sitting at 499, 500 to be exact. Towards the bottom, guys, if we lose this 480, we do have a great level here at 466. Look how beautiful that resistance is right here. You have several days that we're able to break out, but for the most part, slam back down to that 466 level. So that's what you really want to be looking out for. And another level here at 453. Again, Netflix has been strong. I don't think you're going to get down to any of these levels here, but just in case it does, you're prepared for it. Towards the top, highs and lows from the last two trading days. Right now, we're getting a pretty nice bounce of 480, by the way. So again, beautiful drop here, nice bounce here. Can this continue into the high of the pre-market and break out? So Netflix trading pretty nice right now. Definitely will keep an eye on this one. Here's a NCLH. NCLH has a great support happening over the last couple of days. This 14, 15 area or so has been pretty strong for NCLH. Look how many days we have bounced off of this. I mean, since we broke out of it and kind of stayed above it, this has become the line of support here. A lot of support happening there. So even with the news, even with negative news that has come out, they've been able to hold on to this 15 level. You definitely want to have that on there. If they were to crack and break through that, the next level I see is going to be this 1426. You also have a great level here at 1279. This is actually a nice major level here. Look how many times we have tested this level as resistance, a few times as support, but mainly as resistance. That can now become good support for this stock. Towards the top, you got your highest and lows, previous day close. Got some moving averages in here as well, so you do not need to add anything in here. Don't get this too congested. It already has enough resistance levels for you there. Looking at SPCE, again, this stock over the last couple of days really tearing it up. We had this beautiful breakout here on 17. From there, we have another pullback to 17, and then another run up all the way up to 22, and now we're sitting up another 8.1 on this one. So high of the pre-market 23.35, the low already at 21.57. You do have a level in here, which is your high from yesterday as well, so that's a good level to have. Towards the bottom, previous day close and highs and lows from the last two trading days. Now this thing has run up pretty nice before in the past, so it has gone pretty parabolic here. Let's take a look over at February and March time frame. These are the levels we have at the moment, right, on our daily now. But if you look in here, you have several days you can put some levels on here. 27 is a good one. Here it gets very choppy, guys. Look at this daily. There's no good levels on this daily pattern right on here. Right, it's just really all over the place. I mean, you could probably take this one here. Obviously, this is a level here. This is going to be one, but for the most part, in between here, you're not going to find anything clean. This is a clean one here, 27.16. You have 2 days clearly testing that level, could not come back up above that, and they sold down. Even on this day that it gapped up, still couldn't get above this 27, and then a beautiful slam down there. So again, just keep in mind those are some minor levels to have there. I don't see anything major there that looks very clean. Getting a little bit of a rejection here at 23.35. We tested that 3 times here in the pre-market. Let's see if we're going to get a drop here back towards the pre-market lows. NVAX continuing to drop here as high as 134.99 here. And now we're getting a nice little drop. The pre-market action, I tend not to like this one, but the pre-market today is looking pretty decent though. I like what I'm seeing here. Low of the pre-market right now, we got a small little bounce here, 126.03, but that does not look like it's going to hold much longer here. Your main level is going to be this one here, this 127, which is the high from yesterday. So that's the level you want to look forward to. Let's see if we can continue to drop towards that previous day close line and that high of the high of yesterday here around 123.50 or so. Here's INO, guys. This one pre-market is okay, getting a little bit of rejection here from the highs from 2 days ago. Above that, if we can get going, you have a level here 127, and the reason I like 27, this day is closing on there. You have a huge indecision candle right at 27.03. You have several days bouncing off of that, so that's good. Again, you got a lot of action happening around that price target, so we'll keep that on there. Towards the bottom, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, and then if we were to lose that, we have a nice level here at 21 and obviously at 19.43. So Right now, not looking all that great, guys, coming back down. So with that said, I'm going to move this down to a possible. I think it doesn't look all that great at the moment. If it comes back down here, it's just gonna get, it might just get stuck between these highs and lows and all these levels and just kind of just chop around. So I'm not a fan of what I'm seeing right now. Next we have VXRT. VXRT's daily, guys, looks very, very good. We're getting a little bit of a bounce here. Low of the pre-market sitting at 1584. Let's note that down. Below that you have the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days and your previous day close line, creating a good area of support. We're still up 3% even after dropping quite a bit here. High of the pre-market sitting at 1650, and then above that you have the level that you really want to get towards is going to be whoops, let's bring that back. 1650 high of the pre-market is going to be this high from yesterday, which is very close to the high from 4 days ago. So that 17 area will be nice if we can get into that on VXRT. So plenty of levels on here, guys. Pre-market very active right now, going going to the market high and low a few times on here already. So let's see if this run up here right now is going to get it going with some good volume. 447. Let's look at some possibles here. INO, we already checked on that one. We have J&J as well here. High of the pre-market 151.19. Again, it needs a lot more juice. Not doing much right now. Only 37,000 shares traded. Box X very active, so I'll have this one on watch as well. mRNA, let's see what that's up to. This one, guys, a very active stock. Just be careful, as we mentioned before. This can drop on you 80 cents in a matter of seconds, so be mindful of that. Your pre-market low right now is sitting at 82. It's pretty close to the previous day close. I think the previous day close is going to be the most important level here as far as towards the downside. Let's see what this is going to do in a few minutes. Towards the top, you're pretty much covered with the highs and lows. I don't think you need to add anything in here, guys. You got a pretty nice support lines and resistance all around. mRNA's price action at the moment. DKNG, again, this one tends to have a good pre-market action and then not really take off as strong. High of the pre-market right now 37.80. Above this, let's look at what we have here on our daily. I know this here, guys, you could tell there's not a good area of support and resistance right on here, right? They're kind of matched up all over the place here. You do have some levels here. Obviously, it's a clean one. Good rejection, comes right back down. Good rejection on this area as well, 43.75, and it slams back down. But I am seeing right in here, guys, at 39, maybe the whole $1.40. You can see several days, if you draw that line on there, several days opening, closing, and bouncing off that $40 mark. So that could be a good one to have here if we can get going. Aside from that, I don't see any other levels that are great and very clear. As we mentioned in the past, your levels have to be clear because you cannot be the only one looking at a level. It's not going to help you, right? Everybody else got to be looking at the same thing. Towards the bottom, previous day close, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. We do have several moving averages coming in here around 34 as well. If we could lose the previous day close, but right now it's looking on the stronger side for the most part. Let's see if we can hold here. Some possibles here for the low flow team, VRNA. This one here up 87%, and you also have APDN. If you want to watch those two, you can keep those on deck. Just keep in mind APDN tends to open up strong, gap up, and then just sell down. And it looks like it's trying to do that now as well, so be mindful of that. All right, that is what we have, guys. That is our watch list for today. Let's take a look at our moderators, see what we have going on here. Eamon, he's watching NVAX, INO, and NEO. Secondary list is Netflix, DKNG, Space, SPCE. Thor is watching just 2 today, and Netflix and NCLH. Peter, his main list, Netflix, SPCE, and also NEO. And secondary list, AMD, VXRT, NCLH, and mRNA. Tiffany's got INO, Space, NCLH, mRNA, DKNG, and NEO. And John is looking for, he has Baba on deck for a possible half-day breakout. So he's looking for a break above 245 level there. Brian is looking at VXRT, Space, CYTK, ERI, NEO, INO, and also VXNX for fun. And Norm, you got on your list Netflix, Space, and INO, and NEO. And then Jared, he's watching Netflix today. So Netflix today for a possible earnings play above the 480 confirmation levels there. So, all right, guys, that's our list today. We're pretty watching very similar stocks today. Looking
I'm
forward
hoping
to
to
this.
trade Neo and INO at the exact same time in opposite directions just to confuse the hell out of myself.
Oh, I cannot wait to hear from you how that goes. The one thing when I started out trading, the one thing that I was a rule that I couldn't do. I couldn't go long and short on two positions at the same time, because many times I would try to cover on one, and actually what it does is just adds to the position, or it does something funky. But
Yeah,
yeah,
doubled it.
doubles in. You're like, what the hell's happening here? So, yeah, that's funny stuff there, man. All right, guys, that is what we have. It is Friday. A nice weekend coming up. Now, I was thinking about your headphones. Nice weekend coming up, guys. Take care, have fun. Remember to enjoy with the family and friends. Remember, trading is just a very small part of your life, guys. Right? Don't overwhelm yourself with trading. Be mindful of that. Be in the moment this weekend. Enjoy yourselves and come back with a fresh mind on Monday. Whether you're having a good week or a bad week, doesn't matter. Trading should not be as important. That is dragging other important stuff in your life, as your family and everything else, in a negative situation. So just keep
So
be
true,
mindful
man.
of that. Be mindful of that. Enjoy the moment,
Absolutely.
and we will see you guys 8:30 on Monday.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.